So this Saturday, I'm doing a 25-mile charity bike ride, and I want to be really honest with you about something. I have barely ridden more than 5 or 10 miles at a time all winter long and into the spring. I've done maybe 20 or 30 minutes on my Peloton a few times a week, and that's about it. So am I perfectly prepared for 25 miles? No, not even close. But here's what I'm doing anyway. I'm going to the ride. And today I want to talk about why you do not have to be perfectly ready to do the thing you actually want to do. Because I think there's something you have been holding yourself back from too. Welcome to the Biking Wellness Podcast. I'm your host, Stacy Smith, and I lost 50 pounds riding my bike by focusing on what my body can do. Now, I teach other women how to do the same. I am obsessed with completely flipping the script on weight loss so that we can work out to feel good and feel strong. If you are ready to stop dieting, learn how to appreciate your body, and have fun riding your bike, you're in the right place. Let's dive in. Hello, my wonderful friend. Welcome back to the podcast. And if you're just joining us for the very first time, I want to send an extra special warm welcome to you. Thank you so much for joining us. I am so glad that you're here. So like I said, this Saturday is the Bikes Fight Cancer charity ride, and I'm doing it with my son this year for the very first time. And I'll be honest, my brain has been trying to talk me out of feeling good about it all week because I am just not as prepared as I'd like to be. But I'm going and I'm doing it. And I have a feeling that somewhere in your life right now, there's something you've been wanting to do, something you've been putting off until you're more ready, more in shape, more prepared. So I think that you are going to love this episode. Here's what I really want you to hear today. Waiting until you are perfectly ready is just another way of not ever starting the thing you want to do. The truth is you are almost never going to feel completely ready. There's always going to be a reason it's not quite the right time, a reason you could be more prepared. I could very easily talk myself out of this ride, but I have people that that are counting on me to do it with them. But I could still say, you know what? I haven't trained enough. I'll do it next year when I'm in better shape. And then next year, there'd be some other reason. That's how it tends to go. The I'll do it when I'm ready kind of mentality almost never actually comes because you're almost never feeling like you're really ready. So here's where I am at, because I'm not saying any of this from a place of having it all figured out. I've barely ridden outside all winter, like I said, and the longest I've ridden is maybe 5 or 10 miles. And Saturday, I'm going to go and I'm going to try to do 25. Am I probably going to be slower than I'd like? Yes. Is my son, who is strong and fast right now and has been riding more than I have, going to absolutely smoke me up the hills and sit there waiting for me at the top? I hope he sits there and waits for me at the top. Oh my goodness, safety issue? 100% yes. And I've decided, though, that all of this is completely okay, because here is what I know. I can absolutely do this. I can ride 25 miles. I might have to take it slow. My butt might hurt. I might have to stop and catch my breath, but I can get out there and I can do this ride. And so the only real question is whether I let the whole kind of, I'm not ready thing keep me from really doing it. And I'm just not going to do that. So if there's something that you have been wanting to do, I want you to ask yourself, really honestly ask yourself, are you waiting on doing it because you genuinely can't do it right now? Or are you waiting because you don't feel ready? Because those are two very different things. Not ready is almost never a real reason. Not ready just means you might be a little slower, a little less polished. Maybe you won't finish, a little more out of breath than you'd like. And none of that is a reason to miss out on the adventure. You do not need to be the fastest on the bike, the fastest runner, the fastest at the 5K. You don't have to be the most prepared. You don't have to keep up with anybody. You just have to be willing to show up exactly as you are right now. Showing up is 100% the win. That's the goal. And once you've decided to show up, there is one more thing that changes everything about how this whole experience is going to go for you. And I did learn this the hard way. And then I learned it the really fun way. And I cannot wait to tell you about it because it is not a race, my friend. You get to just make the situation fun. Showing up is the first part, but the second part is just as important, and it's this. You get to decide what kind of experience you are going to have. And I want you to choose fun over proving something every single time. Let me tell you about last year's Bikes Fight Cancer ride because it taught me this lesson in the absolute best possible way. I did the ride with my friends, Michelle, Kate, and Tracy. You know who you are. And honestly, it was the most fun I think I have ever had on the bike. And that's saying something because I have had a whole lot of fun. We were silly the whole time. We stopped, we took breaks, we took photos whenever we wanted. We laughed, we looked at cows because, there's always these really cute cows on this ride along the route. And you better believe that we stopped for the cows. And there's this moment actually that I always come back to. There was one point in the ride where you can either kind of break off and do the 50-mile ride, or you can stay on the 25-mile route. And my friend Michelle and I were like thinking, we're feeling really good. Maybe we should do the 50 miles. And we suddenly needed to prove something either to the world or to ourselves, or I don't even know. And then Kate steps in and she's like, no, we are doing the 25 and then we are going back and we are going to have a sandwich. And I went, you know what? Yes, you are absolutely right. We are doing the 25. We are going back and we are having a sandwich. Let's just keep feeling good and feeling strong and get back and have our post-ride sandwich. They have the best food at this ride. Oh my gosh. The ride starts and ends at Treehouse Brewery in Deerfield, Mass. And so people who love the beers love the beers. I'm not a big beer person, but their seltzers are so good. And then there's always these great food trucks. I'm not sure which ones will be there this year, but there's usually Local Burger, which has this amazing fried chicken sandwich. And there's been the Thai food truck, and, Bueno Isano sometimes is there, and they have burritos. Oh my gosh. There's always amazing, amazing food. Not to mention that Treehouse has the best pizza. Can you tell that I like food? Just a little bit. I just went on a whole tangent about food, but the idea is, that sandwich was one of the best decisions that we made all day. And now imagine if any of us stayed home, because we were all feeling a little bit like we weren't ready for that ride. We were all a little bit nervous. We were all thinking I haven't ridden a lot. I'm not very strong. I won't be able to keep up. We were worried we weren't prepared, but we just showed up and we made it fun instead of we've got to do this really fast and we've got to, kill it up the hills. We were just let's just do it at our own pace and have a really good time. And we really, truly had the best time. Now, this year is going to look a little different because I'm riding with my son for the very first time, and he's going to be flying up those hills if it's any indication of the last ride I did with him, and he's going to be so far ahead of me. But I have already decided, this is how we're going to do it together. It's not a race. He's not going to be waiting on me because I'm slow and behind. We're just out there doing this together, having an adventure, doing something hard and fun and good. And we're going to enjoy the rest stops and the peanut butter sandwiches. And that's the whole reason why we're doing this, is to have this experience together. And this same idea, by the way, is how I've been treating myself all week while I am getting ready. I am not, trying to eat perfectly this week or ride 1,000,000 miles. Last night we were at my son's baseball game and they had this snack shack. We love it when we go to a game that has a snack shack because our town doesn't have one. And I'm always one of the first ones to check out the snack shack and see what have they got over there? And there's never a question am I going to get something? It's always a question of what? Is it going to be tater tots or fries, tater tots, or hot dog? I went with the tater tots. Did I probably eat a few more than I actually needed? Yeah, absolutely. But I'm not going to sit here today and hyper-focus on that or wake up and call myself names about it like I used to. I used to go to bed after eating something I felt like I shouldn't and then wake up the next morning and just be so down on myself, which is just not helpful and not productive at all. I'm just going to notice that, I had a few too many tater tots. I'm moving on. And next time I'll just get enough, or I'll just eat enough to feel satisfied and maybe save a few more for my son for after the game. That's it. That's everything. There's no drama. There's no shame. I'm just kind of paying attention to what's happening and what's going on this week. And I'm taking care of myself the best I can. And I want you to think about how you can do this too, how you can incorporate this idea into your own life. Whatever you're showing up for right now, you get to make it fun. You get to make it what you need it to be, not as a test or a race or something that where you have to prove something to somebody else. You just have to enjoy what your body lets you do. Go ahead and choose the 25-mile ride and the sandwich, my friend, every single time. So this Saturday, I'm going to go get out there. I'm going to take it as slow as I need to. I'm going to watch my son have the time of his life flying up the hills. I'm going to stop for the cows, and I'm going to have the best time. And I hope wherever you are, you'll find your own version of just showing up the way that you want to be, in the way that you know you can be, and in a way that is just so much fun for you. So if you take one thing from today, my friend, let it be this. You do not have to be perfectly ready for anything. You do not have to be the fastest, the most prepared. You just have to be willing to show up exactly as you are, and then choose to make it fun instead of a race or a test or some sort of moral failing or triumph, or you know what I'm saying. That's how you actually enjoy your life, in the body that you have right now. Now, today I do actually have a little bit of a favor to ask you. If this episode meant something to you, would you just take a second to follow or subscribe to the show wherever you're listening to your podcast? Here's why it matters so much. Every time you follow, subscribe, download the show, it helps this little show get pushed out to more women who are just like you and me, who need to hear that they don't have to be perfect to start. So you following along genuinely helps me grow this community, and I would so love your help. It just takes 2 seconds, and it 100% means the world to me. And if this episode hit home for you, I'd also love you to consider sharing it with a friend, especially one who's been holding herself back from something because she just doesn't feel quite ready yet. She needs to hear this today. Thank you so much for being here, my friend, for another episode. I'll be thinking of you out there on the ride this weekend. I am cheering for you every step of the way. Talk soon.